started. This is episode 4 of Solar Masterclass. The topic that we'll cover today is digital marketing for solar businesses. Amit, whom I've known and we've worked together for a very long time, is a work from home husband and dad. He's a dreamer who loves to cook. He's a solar professional and a digital marketing enthusiast. So over his journey, he decided to combine both. And now he helps solar companies accelerate their growth using his 14 years of experience in both solar and digital marketing and understanding of the behavior of the solar buyer using digital platforms. Currently, Amit is the founder and CEO of Solar Compare. So welcome, Amit.
Thanks for that. It's been a long time, and it is so good to see you again. In the new avatar, new office, and everything. So lovely to be back on communicating with you. Okay, so
let's start off with an easy one. How would you advise a solar installer to begin and to start the journey of digital marketing? What should they be thinking about? Why should they do it?
Siddharth, the simple answer to that is there any other way to do it? Honestly speaking, everybody today is on a digital platform. Now, digital platform, people misunderstand digital platform कि हम यहाँ marketing करेंगे and यहाँ पे सब कुछ हो जाएगा. Digital platform is actually a place where you start a conversation, because I think kids or adults spend more time today on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn and Google and Quora rather than with each other. So it's a place where you introduce. Now, how do you start digital marketing? You start by posting relevant content. Okay, I'll highlight the word relevant. Okay, just putting those posts about holidays and congratulating somebody or happy birthday, that's not relevant post for your customer. You identify your customer and you start putting relevant posts. That is, in a nutshell, how you start digital marketing.
Let's take a few topics. Could you give our viewers 5 topics that you feel are relevant for them, and a quick hack on what they could start posting about to sort of differentiate themselves, because it's a competitive market, right?
It is a
very competitive market. So how can we help installers actually stand out? Stand out, and second is actually envision and convert people who are not in solar anymore, and to actually go solar.
Education. Now, for example, you have a residential solar installer. Any residential solar installer who's trying to work and start the business or get more customers, the first thing they should start doing is start making videos in the local language. Not it doesn't have to be English or German or French or particularly Hindi. You're in Maharashtra, speak in Marathi. You're in Gujarat, speak in Gujarati. You're in Kashmir, speak in Kashmiri. Okay, make a list of about 12 to 15 videos, short and long, combined together, about what is solar, how it is done, what do you think solar is, how you can help, and things like that, and start posting them in a series on, say, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Now, this is a journey that you need to do with the customer. That's very simple. You need to think that the customer does not have any information, and you start with the video of introducing solar. Even if they have researched the hell out of it, start with introducing solar. Then go to the next step as you would go in explaining to a customer, and make about 12 to 15 such videos and start posting them. There's nothing else that you have to do. लोगों को शर्म आती है वीडियो बनाने में, so people are more stuck to that pictograph posts and posts that are typed a lot. Those are good as well, but then a video gets a much higher engagement. Nobody has to kind of read it or go through it. एक बार on किया वो play हो जाता है, and it is a load of information that goes in. So I would say, if you want to start by thinking how you would install solar, divide it into 15 parts, make 15 1-minute or 2-minute videos and start posting them. Don't worry about कि अंग्रेजी में बोलना है, हिंदी में बोलना है, या मराठी, गुजराती, संस्कृत, तेलुगु, तमिल, कश्मीरी, किसी में भी बोलो, बस explain करो. Okay, so that is how I would say that somebody should start going for digital marketing, and this is what you put. Along with that, of course, congratulate people on their birthdays, put in holiday posts, put in carousel, whatever you want to put. But then content that is valuable to your end customer needs to hold priority. That's what you need to post.
The popular sites for a solar business to maximize consumer outreach?
Yeah.
Where should they be posting?
I would say today focus on LinkedIn and Quora. These are two sites that you should focus on. The reason is they give you a much higher reach for free. Okay, but then you have to understand Quora and LinkedIn are a little more professional as compared to Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Okay. If you want good reach, you need good content in Quora and LinkedIn. Now, if you want to reach masses, the best thing to do is run a Facebook and Instagram ad. It is the cheapest way to reach people. Okay, for example, for a solar installer, you want to generate leads, run a Facebook ad. You want to convert a lead, okay, take them to LinkedIn and YouTube and Quora and make sure that you have relevant content over there which answers their concerns and questions. Facebook से पकड़ो, LinkedIn पे ले जाओ या YouTube पे ले जाओ या Quora पे ले जाओ. ठीक है? Facebook is the easiest. Facebook and Instagram are the easiest way to get a lead cost on Facebook for a complete state, any state you take in India. For a residential solar installer should not be anywhere more than 8 rupees to 50 rupees. ये range आएगा आपका for a lead cost. So imagine just putting about 100 rupees a day, you should get an average of 3 to 4 leads per day. So 3, 4 are 12, 120 leads a month. That's not bad for 3,000 rupees. Yeah. So that is what you should do. If you want to generate leads, Facebook and Instagram. You want to convert leads, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google. LinkedIn and YouTube.
So out of these leads, right, let's say there are 100 leads or even these, what would you say is a good conversion metric? How many of these are serious customers? And how much time does it take to actually go through, right? So lead cost from a marketing channel may be X, right? Maybe it's 20 rupees, 30 rupees. But then there's also a cost for a solar company to actually, call those people up, market to them, do follow-up meetings, follow-ups, and then eventually go over to the closure, right? So what would you say is the marketing cost per lead? And then the actual, all sales costs and everything built-in cost to close one customer, which would be the customer acquisition cost for a solar company?
See, customer acquisition cost should not be more than about 3 to 4% of the entire project cost. Usse zyada nahi hoga. Okay. Now, one thing I would like to tell anybody who's watching or who may watch this in the future, when you get a lead, okay, don't jump onto the phone and call them. Unko call nahi karna chahiye. Aaj ka competitive world hai, everybody is trying to avoid calls. When you get a lead, try and fix an appointment with them. ये जो हमारा acquisition cost है, lead acquisition cost है, ये इसलिए बढ़ता है because we put in a lot of resources in trying to connect and convince the customer to buy without realizing whether are they worth convincing or not. So instead of as soon as you get a lead and pick up the phone and call, follow a process wherein they are booking appointments with you, and then through certain emails, WhatsApp, SMS, and email, you get to know whether they are even 5% serious about it. So if you generate, I'll give you an example. If you generate 100 leads, the conversion percentage should be about 3 to 5%. So for every 100 people that come to you, about 3 to 5 people should be converted into a sale. इससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. 3,000 में अगर आप 2 लोग भी कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं, 3,000 रुपया देके आप अगर 2 लोग भी कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं, and both of them are 3 kilowatt projects, that is about 3 lakh rupees of business, right? So that is kind of what you have to look at. इसमें से customer acquisition cost should not be more than 12 to 15,000, including the lead cost. I think that is a fair enough deal कि अगर आप 3 लाख का बिजनेस कर रहे हो तो 12,000 रुपया या 15,000 रुपया देके आपको 3 लाख का बिजनेस मिल रहा है. And average profit margin or what you say would be what you save is about 10%. तो 30,000 रुपया बच रहा है आपका after all of this, which is a fair enough deal. As you get better in it and you convert 4 people out of that 100, suddenly the margins start going up. So you have to have a process as well for this. ये ऐसा ही नहीं होता कि लीड आई, फोन करो, उसने यार वो मैं अभी सोच रहा हूँ, अरे ये तो खराब लीड है. No, it doesn't happen that way. Nurture the lead a little. Don't focus your time and effort on it. Put it on automation. उसको रेगुलर ईमेल भेजते रहो, व्हाट्सएप भेजते रहो. बट हाँ, उसको आप बेचने के लिए भेजोगे तो वो आपको ब्लॉक कर देगा. इंफॉर्मेशन भेजोगे, you send them information, relevant information. They are not going to block you. 3 months later, 4 months later, 6 months later, or 1 year later, they come back.
Relevancy and information, which is the most important thing.
Yes.
You send the people relevant information, they become your friend, they start trusting you. And when they actually want to get solar, if you've actually added value to them, they should ideally choose you.
You're the natural choice at that time. The person who has taught them without selling to them, okay, is the natural choice. मुझे याद है नील पटेल का एक इंटरव्यू था. He said that my average email open rate is about 40%, and general email rate open rate is about 6 to 8%. 10% हो गया तो wow, मतलब तहलका मच जाता है. His email open rate is 40%. The only reason his email open rate is 40% is because he never sells in his email campaign, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows whenever I get an email from Neil Patel, okay, there's going to be something of value. Maybe it is of value to me at that time or not. वो अलग बात है. मगर वो बेचने की कोशिश नहीं करता. So you don't feel that you are being sold to. So open rates are high. So just example on that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
and is Facebook ads a good option for solar installers? What is a typical cost per lead that
I just told you typical cost per lead depending on will depend on the area that you are targeting. ठीक है, जितना छोटा एरिया होगा उतना कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगा because you are targeting a smaller audience. उस smaller audience में
let's say you take Mumbai, take Delhi, which are the major metros, and then maybe you take like smaller cities.
If you take just Mumbai, the cost is going to be high. Okay, for 2 reasons. Number one, Mumbai में सबसे पहले बात तो there's not a lot of place. Mumbai, as in when we're talking geographically talking Mumbai, there's not a lot of place where you can install solar. A lot of skyscrapers and everything. Okay, and second, it's a small place. We have to understand that हम लोग जब solar बेचने की कोशिश करते हैं, we have to target homeowners, not building owners, homeowners. Individual residential की बात कर रहे हैं, homeowners को target कर रहे हैं. So you have to have that cluster of homeowners somewhere that you target. If you talk about Delhi NCR, yes, there are a lot more homeowners, single low-rise buildings, single home roaders, bungalows, and all that stuff are more prominent in Delhi NCR as compared to Mumbai. So if you take entire Maharashtra, entire Delhi NCR, lead cost जो अभी मैं ads run कर रहा हूँ for about 2-3 companies, I'm getting anywhere between 12 rupees to 50 rupees as an ad cost. I'm also running an ad actually in Bangalore for a solar company. Okay, specifically for commercial. There I am getting a lead cost of anywhere between 300 rupees to 2,500 rupees per lead. But understand, these are commercial leads. Okay, the project size is much bigger. So people are ready to spend on it. And जिस तरह से हम चला रहे हैं, तो it is really targeted. So that's why the lead cost is slightly higher also. Okay, relevancy of the lead is higher. So that's why the cost is higher. So yes, in a nutshell, Facebook is the only place, Facebook and Instagram are the only place if you want to target residential customers. It's cheap, it's fast, you want to grow. Lead cost would be anywhere between 8-10 rupees to about 50 rupees per lead. Okay, what you will be able to convert once again would be about 2 to 5% of what you get, not more than that. Okay, 50% of Facebook leads are going to be redundant. ये आप अपने दिमाग में लेके चलिए That is how it works. उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि Facebook काम नहीं करता. Those are the numbers. Okay. So next one.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है, मैं सोलर स्मिथ से बोल रहा हूँ.
सर इसको खत्म हो जाने दीजिए, फिर हम एंड में Q&A कर देंगे, ठीक है? Because we have a series of questions going on over here from Siddharth. Let's finish those, and in the end, I have no problem in answering the question. Okay? आप नोट करके रख दीजिए, चैट में डाल दीजिए. I'll be happy to answer. No problem.
Okay, sir. Okay.
All right, chat में डाल दीजिए. I'll be happy to answer. All right, Siddharth. Next one.
King.
Siddharth,
I think
Siddharth, your voice is breaking. Could you repeat last?
So as we know, and we've learned in the session today, content is king. So what sort of content marketing works the best for a solar business?
Content is definitely king, Siddharth. मतलब उसका कोई तोड़ नहीं है. आप कितने भी ad चला लो, कुछ भी कर लो, उसके बाद you have to build up trust, and for that, the only thing that works is content. And you're right, content is king. Educational content works. Okay, don't try to zabardasti sell in your content. When you make a video, when you make a post, okay, don't try to tell them I am this, I am that, मेरी company ये, मेरी company वो. Nobody bloody hell cares. किसी को interest नहीं है. Everybody is interested in what is in it for me. How do you solve my problem? Me, myself and I is the funda. उसको लेके अगर आप content बनाते हैं, ठीक है, तो content valuable होता है. Otherwise, if you're saying that I can supply this, I can supply that, हमारी company ने इतना business किया और ऐसा हुआ और वैसा हुआ, nobody cares. Sorry, you can be Tatas, Birlas, or Ambanis or whoever. Nobody cares. वो 2 सेकंड का hype होता है, उसके बाद सब खत्म हो जाता है. Focus on the customer, not on yourself. It's about them, not about you. So that would be my take on content.
So, and how is your experience and what have been your key learnings when you've worked with solar companies and in helping them grow using digital platforms? So let's say the top 3 learnings that you've had.
Yeah, my learning has been that most of the solar companies have not accepted digital as a channel. Okay? Most of the solar companies still, especially residential EPC companies, okay, उनको अभी भी लगता है कि रेफरल मार्केटिंग ही सब कुछ है, वहां से होता है. बट हाँ, रेफरल मार्केटिंग ठीक है. I really like the fact that रेफरल मार्केटिंग है. But if I ask people कि भैया पिछले बार कब रेफरल मिला था, I have never had a person tell me हाँ impromptu कि अभी मिला था और वो convert किया. Referral is a very different game. आज से 40 साल पहले रेफरल से ही काम चलता था, and that is how the world worked. Today, my learning from this is that if you don't adopt digital, in about 5 years you're dead. Okay, in about 5 years you're dead, you're gone, nobody will know you. Before going digital, before thinking that digital marketing में घुसने से पहले आपको अपना acquisition system ठीक करना है. You can have the best website, the best lead generation people, the best lead generation system, and the most optimized everything. But if you don't have the lead process system, वो सारा बेकार है. What happens when the lead comes in? Whether it is from referral, WhatsApp, digital, non-digital, किसी ने आपको phone पे बताया, what happens when the lead comes in? So before lead acquisition, lead management is something that is more important. And my learning is that I have never encountered any company that had a proper lead management system. I'm not talking about CRM, huh? मैं CRM की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I'm talking about the process in which lead is being processed. Whether you are a solopreneur or you have 10,000 people working in your company. What happens when 10 leads come? How are they allocated? What is the information being sent to the customer? How they are being processed? Okay. अगला step क्या होगा? अगर उसने respond किया या respond नहीं किया? Do you have an SOP or a flow chart made for this? Because everybody will handle it differently. So if you want to make it successful, okay, lead processing is more important than lead generation. This is my one learning. If you want to be successful in generating leads and then actually making money out of business. If you just want to spend money on Facebook, ठीक है, then the lead generation कर लो भैया जितना करना है. Facebook will never say no.
So, a comment that came in from Solar Smiths. So he's tried Facebook leads, right? And he's found that in his experience, through Facebook and other sources, you get mostly, smaller leads which are under 10 kilowatts who want subsidy and those types, right? So, but he said that he's found the referral leads more effective, right? And he wants to understand how he can work and get more commercial and industrial leads.
Google will be the place to be. इसमें सबसे पहले तो आपको टारगेटिंग अपनी ठीक करनी है. Targeting is based on two things. Number one, your location. Number two is the keywords. What are you targeting? Targeting a pain point, targeting a problem. For example, target solar loans. हर एक को फ्री में चाहिए सोलर, ठीक है? That is where you enter the market. That is where you get that person attracted. लेकिन अगर आप फ्री में सोलर बांटने लगोगे तो आपको 10 रुपए की लीड मिल जाएगी, लेकिन on Google it will be a load. Okay, so you have to make sure that you target the right keyword in the right location. Okay, I'm running an ad for a South-based company right now, and I'm generating about 6 to 7 leads a day. Cost factor is anywhere between 500 to 2,000 rupees. All commercial leads. Okay, and valid commercial leads. पहले जब 3 दिन चलाया था उसको तो काफी सारा भीड़ भाड़ आया था. Okay, but then we optimized it and then we got those commercial leads to a much larger extent. We have a conversion rate of about 60% on that. In the sense, out of every 10, 6 are valid. Valid in the sense they are seriously looking at solar as an option. क्या वो कल सुबह अपने फैक्ट्री पे सोलर लगाएगा? नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. But they are seriously looking at solar as an option. They've done their research a little and then they were looking for it and they found us. Rather, we presented ourselves to them because we know that they are looking for it. So we chose those keywords uske basis pe. So if you want to go commercial leads आपको चाहिए, आपको high value leads चाहिए, then Google and LinkedIn are the better options. Google पे काम थोड़ा जल्दी होता है, LinkedIn पे ज्यादा कंटेंट बनाना पड़ता है. LinkedIn ads are actually more expensive as compared to Google ads. Okay, LinkedIn ad चलाने का बहुत अलग तरीका होता है. उसके लिए आपकी वेबसाइट भी वैसी होनी चाहिए, आपका कंटेंट भी वैसा ही होना चाहिए. So it requires a lot of तामझाम. If you want to start it fast, Google is the way to go.
Could you suggest some keywords either for LinkedIn or Google ads or for content?
Yes, a couple of keywords जो आपके किसी भी पोस्ट में होने चाहिए. If you are a solar professional, solar panel नहीं, solar panels. So hashtag solar panels, hashtag solar inverter, hashtag solar. ये 3 keywords आपके हर पोस्ट में होना चाहिए because they are widely followed and they get you the views. LinkedIn पे especially. Okay, these 3 keywords would be there always. Uske baad, what is the post about? Okay, is it about solar panels? Is it about solar inverter? Is it a post that you're saying that this is something that we did? Have a look. Okay, so फिर आप लगाएंगे rooftop solar customer, successful installation. Depending on that, you will put. If you're giving information about the inverter, वो brand name आ जाता है. So depending on where you are and what you are posting, use hashtags and these are the keywords. Now, some of the keywords that are working for me are solar finance, rooftop solar financing, loan for commercial loan for solar in Bangalore, in Delhi, in Kolkata. Use it hyper local. अगर आप ऐसे keywords पे Google Ads चला रहे हैं, it has to be hyper local, not just local. It has to be hyper local. If you can pinpoint it by the city, okay, that is even better. You get better results. आपको एक targeted audience मिलती है उसके हिसाब से. So those are some keywords that I would suggest. And कीवर्ड रिसर्च टूल्स ये फ्री में अवेलेबल है ऑनलाइन. Okay, just go and type keyword research tools and type solar, rooftop solar, solar finance, solar loan over there, and you will get a list of couple of hundred keywords. उसमें ये देखिए इसका कितना volume आ रहा है, कौन कितना expensive है, and depending on that, use those in your ads and feed. Keywords are also used as hashtags. Hashtags और keywords में बहुत फर्क नहीं होता है. Keywords हम ads के लिए चलाते हैं, hashtags हम अपना व्यू इंक्रीज करने के लिए चलाते हैं. I hope that answers the question from fourth source.
From Solar Smiths, So let's talk about challenges, right? In this market, what are the challenges most solar startups would face while starting the businesses? And obviously, when you're starting, as the owner, proprietor, you're doing a lot of the things yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then you scale, you add a layer of a few employees, and then, they become managers. There's another layer added. So what are the challenges solar startups face while they start, then as they're at mid-scale, and, as they really end up or start to really, really grow?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I had started a solar company, okay, and I faced those challenges myself. Okay, वो मैंने खुद भी face किए हुए. सबसे पहली problem होती है clarity. Each solar startup thinks that solar is up for grabs. यहाँ काम चल रहा है, लूट लो. Without getting into that clear mind कि हमें करना क्या है, देना क्या है market को. What is, I will trade, I will do EPC, but what kind of EPC? There are 10 different types of EPC. What kind of client would you like to serve? How would you approach them? What are your, there is no clarity in most of the startups. वो business तो करना चाहते हैं, ठीक है? But then they have a very broad idea of the business. I want to be a solar EPC. I want to install solar on rooftops. ये भी नहीं पता कि कौन से टाइप का रूफटॉप. ओके, I want to trade in modules. भैया कौन सा मॉड्यूल, कैसा मॉड्यूल, which type of module? There are 20 different module manufacturers in India and a couple of thousand more across the globe. What do you want to do? The biggest challenge that a solar startup faces, especially with the founders and everything, is lack of clarity. They jump in too early into the market because of whatever pressures and everything. And then इसके बाद problem होती है, especially around 3 years back, COVID से पहले और pandemic से पहले मैं कहूँगा, there were a lot of startup EPC companies that came into the market. And suddenly क्या होता था, उस time पे जो rate चल रहा था, that was about 40 to 45 rupees per watt. एक टाइम पे रेट चल रहा था. एंड सडनली ये स्टार्टअप कंपनीज वाली जो है, दे आर कोटिंग 32-33 rupees. That happened because of their lack of understanding of the entire business of model on this. Everybody thought counting the cost of modules, panels, inverters and wires and उस पे 10% margin जोड़ दो, solar हो गया. Yeah, solar is much more than that. There are so many challenges. आप अगर थर्ड फ्लोर पे इंस्टॉल कर रहे हो और ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे इंस्टॉल कर रहे हो, एक मंजिला बिल्डिंग पे और 3 मंजिला बिल्डिंग पे, कॉस्टिंग इज डिफरेंट. अगर छत ज्यादा ओपन है, आर्मर्ड केबल लगानी पड़ती है, कॉस्टिंग इज डिफरेंट. ये चीजें, ये एक्सपीरियंस और ये क्लैरिटी जब तक लोगों में ना हो, they not only spoil the market, but it is a big challenge for them as well, because आगे नहीं बढ़ पाते हैं. So the biggest challenge that I see for a startup is clarity. In one word, if you're not clear about this, if you don't understand this business, please don't get into it, because you may end up earning a bit of money, but you end up spoiling the market for a lot of other people. Okay, you want help? There are a lot of people offering help on clarity free of cost. Okay, Siddharth and me being two of them sitting right here. अगर आपको actually समझना है, you're serious about it, give us a call, we'll talk to you anytime. Siddharth, do you agree? मैंने तो ऐसे बोल दिया, but I'm pretty sure you agree. If somebody is really serious about solar, you won't mind mentoring that person, right?
there's a lot. I mean, we are humbly like we've grown to around 40, 50 people now in our team. But yeah, it's come over the space of 24 years. So we're doing okay, but obviously there are a lot larger companies as well. Uh, I think I entered the solar industry when I was like 22, right out of my college, and I went out, spoke to installers about the platform and the vision that we had, and the solar industry. The people are really nice. That's one thing that I always find, that all of us are working in a green industry where we actually are working out of passion, right? There are other things that we all could have been doing, but we believe in solar, we believe in sustainable energy, and that's why we're working in this industry. So the people are good, and I think if you're using platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, reaching out to people, mostly they end up replying to your questions. A lot of content is being shared by good leaders on LinkedIn as well, and it's always good to follow those people. Even drop them a message. I've done that a lot, and I've always received, not always, but mostly really received replies, and people are helpful. So I completely agree. Just pay it forward, when you get bigger.
Yeah.
Great. So, talking more about Solar Labs, and it's time for us to do some our own branding. So, Amit, you've been a Solar Labs user for the last 4 years, right?
I
So,
have.
how has it, so what do you think about it, and how has it helped you versus when you did not have Solar Labs? What does it do for you?
It gives my clients a visual perspective. Visual is about 40% of what you perceive. Okay, there was an experiment done. Two set of people were shown two sheets of paper. एक पे लिखा हुआ था circle CIRCLE and दूसरे पे there was a circle drawn. After 72 hours, 72 hours, those people were again asked कि हमने आपको एक पेपर दिखाया, उसमें क्या था? 12% of the people who saw CIRCLE written could recall it. 75% of the people who saw that circle could recall it. That's a huge difference. When I use something like Solar Labs, okay, my customers actually remember कि solar उनकी छत पे कैसा दिखेगा. I have better recall value, okay, and understanding and conversation with the customer when I show them a 3D view, a 2D view, a shadow analysis, and a proper proposal, actually, not a bunch of 20 sheets which have everything written on it. कौन पढ़ता है यार? Nobody reads a draft, but everybody looks at graphics, remembers them. वो जो point होता है कि bill with and without solar. I have used that like crazy. एक मैंने 3D इस्तेमाल किया है और एक bill with and without solar इस्तेमाल किया है. I used to send only those two things to my customers. I still do. Okay, and it works like a charm because there is a comparison and there is your solar. Without installing, you can now kind of drag it out, see ऊपर नीचे दाएं बाएं से photos देख सकते हो. And that gives me the option to talk to them in a serious manner. And I send my designs to everybody. अगर मेरे पास lead आती है, before sending a quote, before sending a proposal, I send them the design. And 30% people actually go away after I send them the design because they are not worth it, or they are not serious about it. But still, it has really helped me sending a design to everybody. Every lead that comes into my system, okay, it's default. Proposal देने से पहले design जाएगा. So talk to them, know what their problems are, know what their issues are, know what they're looking for, send them a design. Most of the people are asking for quote दे दो, quote दे दो, quote दे दो. हम refuse कर देते हैं, हम quote नहीं देते. And all my marketing clients as well, I tell them to follow the same thing. Don't give the quote on day 1, day 2, day 3, unless and until you understand उसकी जरूरत क्या है. Quotation मत दो, design दो ना यार. And TSL actually makes it very easy. यार आधा घंटा लगता है मुझे residential design बनाने में और customer के साथ बैठ के बनाता हूँ. the amount of engagement in that half an hour is worth what other people get in 6 months. जब मैं डिजाइन बना रहा होता हूँ, I ask them about their dog, their family, their life, and chat and all that stuff. And that's engagement. It doesn't only just, TSL just doesn't give me design. It gives me the opportunity to actually converse, have a valuable and significant conversation with my client, which in turn gives me the sale. So this is what TSL does. This is how it has changed. पहले वो ड्राइंग बना के हाथ से भेजना पड़ता था, एक फोटो पहले हाथ से बनाओ, कैड में बनाने में टाइम लगता है यार, स्केचअप में बनाने में टाइम लगता है. You can't have your customer sitting with you on the other side of Zoom, okay, for 3 hours. This is 15 minutes. 15 मिनट लगते हैं, 20 मिनट लगते हैं पूरा डिजाइन बनाने में रेजिडेंशियल का. Unless and until it is too complicated, ज्यादा हो जाता है तो कस्टमर आपके साथ होता है, आपकी मदद भी हो जाती है. So that is how Solar Labs TSL has changed, and that is why I have not left it. Yeah.
Cool. So that's really good, and thanks for your feedback, Amit. So let's move over and talk about a rapid fire round.
Okay.
So let's talk about it, right? So I'll shoot a question to you. You get back to me. So the first one is, who's your favorite entrepreneur?
Ankur Warikoo.
What's the best business or management or startup or any learning book that you've read?
I'm not a book person, Siddharth. Sorry, but I'm not a book person. I can tell you 2 movies that I would love to share. Very inspirational, and I've watched them about 100 times each. One is The Titans, and the other is The Pursuit of Happiness. Really awesome movies, and people should watch those movies. 2 movies. What happened?
What is one management principle that you love and live by?
Process before sales or people. Set up a process. Focus on the process rather than focusing on people.
Anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers today?
Nothing much. If anybody has a question for me or Siddharth, Siddharth being an entrepreneur, and he started at a very young age, and he's one of the successful entrepreneurs and startups in the solar industry. I'm a marketing guy. So if anybody has any questions, about a couple of people watching us on live, couple of them on Zoom as well, who get to ask questions. So if there is a question, we are ready to answer. From my side, I would like to end it with this. Before you get into lead generations, blaming Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn or Google that it does not work, think about something that you might be doing wrong. Okay, this is very openly I'm saying, and it is a request from my side. Haath jod ke. Do it right, do it digital, and it works. And it is working for me. I'm pretty sure it is working for Siddharth as well. That is why we are here. And have clarity in what you want. Lead generation se lead conversion nahi hota. Lead generation और lead conversion के बीच का process होता है. Have that process clear, and you will get success. That is guaranteed. इसमें numbers play करते हैं, not thought. Numbers play करते हैं. So that is my last. Anybody has a question? We are here to answer. Otherwise, I'm done. मेरा सारा ज्ञान खत्म हो गया. Okay, I guess there are no more questions from anybody coming in here.
So I think we can wrap this up. Thank you, Amit, for coming on board.
Hey,
and thank you to all our viewers today.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, be good, and see you around. Do follow us on LinkedIn.